It's mid-October here in the panhandle of Florida. We had our first cool front come through a couple days ago. The winds have laid down, so we're going to take the Grady out and see if we can find some fish in our nearshore waters. I'm David, and this is Forgotten Coast Fishing. With this cool front that came through, what I'm kind of hoping is it pushes some of these fish in our closer nearshore waters. We're sitting only in about 80 feet deep. Ruth's already got something. And so I'm hoping we kind of grab some red snapper because this is a day that we can keep them. Well, let's see what she's got here. Oh yeah, it's got some decent weight to it, huh?
Yeah.
So this is a double drop rig is what she's using with some squid. Oh, it's a triggerfish. Oh man, he may be a keeper. Oh yeah, this is definitely a keeper. Look at this triggerfish, everybody. Man, he's definitely a keeper. Let me get my pliers. I didn't even have that ready. This is a nice triggerfish. Now, triggerfish have tough mouths. It's really hard sometimes to get these hooks back out of them. Let's see what he measures out to be. Now we can keep him if he's 15. We only get one per person, but since there's 3 of us out here, all right, so he's 15 and a half almost. So he's one of our 3 keepers. Right off the bat, this was our first drop and first fish, and he's one for the ice box. All right, so Ruth's dropping down again. I'm gonna see if I can get these free lines out in between her fish catching. So what I've got here, I've just got some old ballyhoo here, and I'm just gonna kind of cut these in half because they're kind of big, and just kind of hook it through the back there. Nothing special. And then I'm just gonna cast these out. There's no weight on here. So what's gonna happen, these are gonna slowly sink to the bottom. And what this is hopefully gonna attract anyway is the bigger red snapper. She's got something again already. He doesn't seem as big as the other one, does he?
No.
Well, maybe it's a beeliner. Now we could keep a ton of those guys if we get them, but we've got 6/0 circle hooks on this double drop. That's a snapper. No, oh man, it's a red grouper. It's a big red grouper. Bring him back here. Look at this guy. I've been catching a lot of these guys recently, but they're not in season right now, and they have to be 20. Now this guy might, I bet, would make the 20-inch limit.
His mouth is like all red in there.
But we vented him, so he'll get down okay. I'm not going to take the time to measure him. I don't like to keep grouper out of the water too often. There he goes back down. See, that venting allows that air to get out of their swim bladder so that they can get back down. But look what he was eating. See, you don't need super big baits. They're just down here eating these little glass minnows down there. Here's a little bit bigger one.
That's like a fish tank fish.
Yeah. So we're just using, quarter-sized squid. All right, we got one on the free line. All right. Oh, he's got some decent weight to it. I don't think he's a monster, but something on the free line, that's for sure. So hopefully it's a keeper snapper. He's definitely trying to get back down to the reef. Yep, I think it's a snapper. Yep, I can see some color. Yep, definitely a snapper. Let's see if he's a keeper. I believe he is. All right, check out this snapper. He might be our 16 inches, just maybe. Right there on the edge if he is. Tip of that tail. Yeah, he's 16. He's just a touch over 16, so we got one of our 6 red snapper we can keep today since there's 3 of us on board. So I went fishing the other day, and look at this big, nice red snapper we got. But instead of taking it over to our boat ramp where they have a freezer where you can put carcasses in, I knew we were going to be coming fishing soon, so I just saved it, and I'm eventually going to dump it out, but I'm going to kind of use it as chum. I don't know, really, I don't think any really pieces are going to come out, but maybe we'll get a little scent or something like that. Oh, we got him. Steven, you want to catch this fish? I think it may be a beeliner. It feels like it might be a beeliner.
Let's get you a fish on.
Let's see. Here you go.
Let's get
go for it.
on. Come on, fish.
Still got him?
You got him? Let's do it.
I think it's a beeliner.
Come
Oh, seeing a little color.
Come on, fish.
Seeing a little color. It is a beeliner.
What are you getting?
Oh, no. Yep, nope. Yep, it is that's a good beeliner.
Oh, look at
All right, check it out. Look at this beeliner.
Woo! I think he's starting to poop.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Look at the fish. That was a big one.
Yep, he's about 12.
Yay!
So he's going to go in the box.
Hey, Steven.
Nice
good
little
job.
beeliner. Our fishing has kind of died down recently. You can see it has become flat calm. And I don't see any current running right now. So hopefully we get a little current in a little bit. But you know, sometimes when you don't have that wind movement or not much current, fishing becomes tough. And that's kind of what happened. But we were seeing some marks on the depth finder that look like smaller fish. So I switched over to these little 3/0 circle hooks. And this is just that little 40-pound mono making up this double drop rig. And you can see we're catching some little vermilions. And you need something like this, like a small hook to get those guys. Oh, okay, here we go. Steven, you want to get him again?
Yeah.
Okay, you and Mommy get that.
Let's get it, Steve.
Keep a tight line, keep a tight line.
Woo, come on, fish.
There we go. I think it may be a little vermilion again. Let's see. Oh yes, another nice one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, these aren't the biggest ones out here, but they only have to be 10 inches. And we can keep 10. And I caught a bunch of these the last time I was out. But I think he's gonna make it. Let's check. I don't want to lose him here. Uh-oh. Oh man, gotta get you in a second. All right. All right. What have we got here? Oh, he's not putting up a big fight at least. We got a beeliner on the free line. Or no, is that a red snapper? No, it's a beeliner. Man, we got a beeliner on the free line. I didn't expect that. A nice one, which you would kind of expect because this was a nice,
hook.
Well, it's a big hook and it was a big piece of ballyhoo. It was a half a piece of ballyhoo. I picked up this boga grip. I'm gonna try to use that with these guys. These guys have a lot of sharp points to them. Their fins and their gill plates. Man, you'll end the day and you've got cuts and pokes all over yourself. So I'm gonna try to do this and kind of cut down on all that. Plus also I won't lose him on here on this transom. So he's almost 13. So we'll get him in the box too. Oh, you got another one? Comes another beeliner. Oh, look at those remores after. Oh yes, get him on board. Yeah, this guy's gonna be a keeper. Check him out, Steven. Another little beeliner.
Another beeliner.
Ooh, what was that?
Oh, it's your line. It's over there by your line.
Oh, well, that's because that's going. Check it out. This is something on the surface, obviously. Did you see what it was?
No, I just saw a big...
I don't know. Now it's kind of going down. What is this? A shark? What is, oh man. What is this? Oh, it's a shark. Oh, tiger shark. Yeah, look, it's a little tiger shark. Check him out. All right, let's get him on board. Look at this shark. Let's see, I just want to bring him on board, get a good picture of him. All right, so he's got these kind of grayish leopard spots on him. Check him out. He's got a big wide head.
Hold on.
Another good look at him. Well, let's let him go.
Hey,
Oh, another one. Oh, this one looks like it's got a lot of good weight to it, huh? Winching them in, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe you have two. Here comes. No, it's just I bet you it's that red grouper again. Yep.
Something I can't keep.
No, look at him though. He's such a cool fish.
I know, I love how it's red in this.
I know. Sure wish
That's
we
my
could keep
second
him.
one today.
Yep. Feel soft and it's kind of
Oh, yeah.
a lot softer. They have like little miniature scales.
Hey,
Did you catch them?
no, I don't know.
Yeah, you can't leave that in the...
Look.
Oh no, you got
Oh
two
my
of them.
gosh, I got...
Look at these remoras. You can't,
Oh.
you can't leave these. Oh man, look what they've done. These are
my
the
gosh.
most pesky fish. Look what they've done to
Look,
everything.
they're all twisted
Yeah,
around.
I know. Let's see.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Steve. Oh, it's a big one. Oh,
Yeah, look at this one. Oh man, this is a good beeliner. Check him out.
Steven,
That's the nicest
good
beeliner of the
job.
day. Check him out.
Good work.
Look at him. All right. So this is our nicest one of the day so far. Close to 14. Well, let's get him in the box. These vermilion
Steven?
are really nice to get here. Now check out this dolphin. Now, a lot of times they come up to the boat. This guy's just kind of putting on a little show for us. Check him out. Oh, we got him. Oh, we got him on the free line. Oh man, we got two of them. That one just popped too. All right, let's see. I gotta get him out of the engines. All right. Are we going up over here? I got all kind of rods over here. Oh, let's see. Did you see this rod just kind of tip the other free line? Yeah, I don't think it's on there. It's okay. I just mainly didn't want to get caught up in it. What have we got here? Red snapper? All right, red snapper. He might be a keeper too. Yeah, I think he is going to be 16. Oh yeah, he's about 17. So check him out. All right, another red snapper for the box. All right, we're going to go ahead and head on back in. Had a great day getting those red snapper and those vermilion and a keeper trigger. Just kind of getting out here and taking advantage of this nice calm day. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and clean up these beeliners. I've done a video for cleaning up that red snapper. I'll leave that down in the link in the description below. But for these beeliners, if you have a sharp knife like this Sword 7-inch flexi, it makes cleaning these beeliners very simple, especially since you can kind of catch a lot of them. The simpler you can make this, the better. So instead of going along the back like this, like we do for red snapper, these smaller beeliners like this, you can kind of clean them like we do a speckled trout. So I just kind of go behind the gill plate and cut down to the backbone. Then I go ahead and slit the belly, and then go ahead and ride your knife down on top of that backbone and just take the whole fillet off at once. Now there are some pin bones right here, but with a sharp knife like this, you can go right through it. Then you can go ahead and clean off this rib cage meat. And then you can go ahead and get the meat off the skin, just like you would any fish. And there you go. A very simple, fast way to clean your beeliners. Now, go ahead and check for any kind of bones that may be in the middle. Sometimes you have some right there where the backbone is. And a lot of times you can cut a little V like that, and that'll get rid of any little bones that you have right there. Just kind of take a feel, and we're good to go. So you do the same thing for the other side. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these beeliners cleaned, and we'll see you in the kitchen. All right, we're gonna go ahead and cook that vermilion snapper up tonight, and we're actually gonna do it in the air fryer. But before we do that, I'm gonna make us a homemade remoulade sauce, and I'll leave the recipe down in the description so you can make it for yourself. So first off, we're just gonna kind of start out with our base, which is just gonna be some mayonnaise. Now, you can just kind of eyeball this, you know, as far as how much you think you're gonna need. So for us, I think that's gonna be enough. That's probably about a cup. And then I'm gonna take this already kind of prepared garlic. Now this in a jar actually works better for this type of recipe because it's a little softer kind of already. So I'm just gonna probably do about a clove's worth or so. That's gonna be plenty. And then I'm gonna take this horseradish. We're probably, in that we have about a cup, we'll probably do about a teaspoon or so, maybe a little more. And then we have this spicy brown mustard. You could use Dijon or, you know, really kind of any type of mustard that you want. But just there again, probably about the same amount of garlic that you did, a teaspoon or so, maybe a little more. Now we're going to take this Tony Chachere seasoning. Now, this is kind of my favorite seasoning to use in this remoulade sauce. I've used different things, but this has got a nice taste to it, and it's got a little heat to it. So we're gonna sprinkle some of that in here. That's gonna be good, just about like that. And now we're gonna take some paprika. There we go. And last but not least, we're going to take a little bit of the sriracha sauce. You could use any type of hot sauce that you want. And this is where you can kind of play with the heat a little bit. Do as little or as much as you'd like. All right, so let's get this stirred up. And it's going to kind of turn into that deep brownish reddish that you're kind of used to seeing for a remoulade sauce. All right, so that's nice. So we can go ahead and set this in the refrigerator. All right, so our next step is we're gonna go ahead and bread this fish just like we are if we were gonna fry it. So the good thing about these vermilions, they're not gonna take a long time in this air fryer since they're so small. Another way you could do this is kind of bread this in the same seasoning and just go ahead and deep fry it. So I'm just gonna put 2 or 3 or 4 of these little fillets in here and just kind of coat those. Now all I did is just kind of rinse these lightly with water and then sort of lightly patted them. I wanted to leave a little moisture on them just so this mixture will kind of stick to it. And this is a Louisiana brand crispy type fish fry. And I'm just going to kind of bread these just like this and just sort of space these out, kind of fit as many as I can without overcrowding it inside this air fryer. All right, so I've got our first batch in here. I'm gonna take just this plain old Pam spray here, and I'm gonna kind of lightly spray each fillet. And what that's gonna do supposedly is kind of give it a little bit of a crisp. All right, so I'm gonna put this in our air fryer, and I'm gonna cook it for about 3 minutes at 450 degrees. All right, so it's been 3 minutes, and let's just kind of check it. If you kind of come over here and look, you see how it's kind of starting to get white. So I think that's what we want. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip these, and then go ahead and, yeah, they're already kind of falling apart, so they're real tender already. So I'm gonna flip these over, and then I'm gonna put a little more Pam spray on it and cook it maybe only for about 2 minutes now, just maybe just to kind of crisp up this top layer. All right, so let's go ahead and give this the taste test. I kind of want to just kind of show you kind of the consistency of it. It does, you know, kind of have that crisp coating just like it does if you deep fry it, although it's not quite as crispy, but it is there. I think adding that cooking spray on it is kind of what really does that. So let's give it a taste here. I'm going to use my homemade remoulade sauce here. It's fried fish, everybody. It's really fried fish. It's very tasty. We started out with some fresh, very nice tasting fish to begin with. And this meal probably only took me about 15 minutes to make from start to finish, even making this remoulade sauce. So I highly recommend you try this, especially on a weeknight, that kind of thing where you're in a rush, you get back late from fishing, you have to clean the boat. Man, this is just a super easy way to do it. But if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss my future videos. So until next time, hope to see you on another episode of Forgotten Coast Fishing.